July 20th, 1969. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. But how did we get there? The Apollo program was one of the most ambitious undertakings in human history. It took vision, innovation, and immense bravery. Let's break it down. The story of Apollo begins with the Cold War. The United States and the Soviet Union were locked in a high-stakes race for technological supremacy. In 1957, the Soviets launched Sputnik, the first artificial satellite. Then in 1961, Yuri Gagarin became the first human in space, a groundbreaking achievement that stunned the world. The U.S. had to respond. Enter President John F. Kennedy.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win, and the others too.
With this speech, America committed itself to an audacious goal: landing a man on the moon and bringing him back safely before the decade was out. The challenge was immense, requiring breakthroughs in rocket technology, spacecraft design, and human endurance. NASA got to work, developing the Apollo program. The first step was the Mercury and Gemini programs, which tested critical spaceflight techniques. Then came Apollo. First unmanned missions tested the hardware. Then, in 1968, Apollo 7 became the first crewed Apollo mission, proving that humans could survive in space for extended periods. But it was Apollo 8 that made history, sending astronauts Frank Borman, Jim Lovell, and Bill Anders around the moon for the first time. This breathtaking image of Earth against the vast emptiness of space changed how humanity saw itself forever. It was a powerful reminder that our planet is just a small, fragile home in the vast cosmos. Then came Apollo 11, the mission that would attempt to make history. On July 16, 1969, Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins launched aboard the mighty Saturn V rocket. At over 363 feet tall, it remains the most powerful rocket ever built. The journey to the moon took 4 days. Upon reaching lunar orbit, Armstrong and Aldrin transferred to the lunar module, Eagle, while Collins stayed aboard the command module. The descent to the lunar surface was nerve-wracking. As they approached, fuel ran dangerously low, and alarms blared. Armstrong took manual control, guiding the lander past a field of boulders. With just 30 seconds of fuel remaining, he found a safe spot and landed. With over 600 million people watching, Armstrong stepped onto the moon and spoke those legendary words.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Oh, that looks beautiful from here. It has a sudden beauty all its own.
Buzz Aldrin soon followed, describing the landscape as magnificent desolation. Over the next few hours, they set up experiments, collected moon rocks, and planted the American flag. They also left a plaque reading, "We came in peace for all mankind." But time was limited. After 21 hours on the surface, they rejoined Collins and began their journey home. Apollo didn't stop with 11. 5 more moon landings followed, each bringing new discoveries. Apollo 12 landed near Surveyor 3, an unmanned probe that had been on the moon since 1967. Apollo 13, famously, nearly ended in disaster due to an oxygen tank explosion. Thanks to the ingenuity of NASA engineers and the crew's resilience, they made it safely back home. The final moon mission, Apollo 17 in 1972, brought the first scientist to the moon, geologist Harrison Schmitt. He and Eugene Cernan explored the rugged Taurus-Littrow Valley, collecting some of the most valuable lunar samples. Though Apollo ended, its legacy lives on. It paved the way for modern space exploration. Technologies developed for the moon landings led to advancements in computers, medicine, and engineering. Now, with NASA's Artemis program and commercial spaceflight initiatives, we're preparing to return to the moon and eventually to Mars. The Apollo program proved that human determination knows no bounds. It wasn't just about beating the Soviets. It was about proving that when we dare to dream, we can achieve the impossible. Today, space exploration is more alive than ever, and the next great adventure is just beginning. The next giant leap? setting foot on Mars. But how will we get there? What challenges stand in our way? Join us in the next video as we uncover humanity's journey to the Red Planet. If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe for more content on groundbreaking stories like this one. See you in the next one.